Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog. I am going to give you a little spoiler because I actually started this vlog a couple weeks ago. I started two different vlogs, right? And this one was supposed to be like a week in the life, but disclaimer, spoiler alert, it's gonna be kind of like a today, what we're doing today, and kind of going through the old drawings and old art that I've created. And it ties kind of into what I created and finished, 90% finished yesterday. So thank you for being here. Welcome back to the vlog. I should probably introduce myself. My name is Marina Tue. I'm a multidisciplinary artist and I am currently working on a stipple drawing. I do a lot of work with oil paintings and pastel work and ink and charcoal, and that's really pretty much my credentials. So let's get into the video that I originally recorded, and I'm gonna try to keep it clean with snipping here and there some things, but I hope you enjoy it and I will see you in the next clip. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to another vlog. I'm starting this video off on a Saturday, January 24th. Our friends are coming over. One of our friends' birthday was yesterday, and so they're coming over today, staying the night. So we're gonna get to go to a brewery today, maybe grab some dinner later, hang out with some friends tomorrow. Not really too sure. I know there's like some football games on. Might be the time to work a little bit on my art. I'll show you. Okay, so I am in the progress of doing like a stipple portrait with a reptile, and I know I've said it before, but I love stippling reptiles, and so this is where I'm at. I think I have my little card of like time of how long I've spent on it, and I think so far, let's see, so it's been about 12 hours so far of stippling, but this is where I'm at with it. And honestly, I am pretty stoked and excited to work on this and complete this, but I'm at a point where kind of like the headband or the head scarf is, or the headdress is very kind of like textured. And so I started I wasn't using grids for this at all, but now I'm starting to use grids for this because I want to make sure that I'm not putting pen too much where it doesn't need to go, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is where I'm at. So hopefully I'm gonna get much further with that in the week that we're hanging out together. And other than that, it's probably been 2 weeks since the initial video that I started with this video. I really wanted to complete it that weekend, but then we had some friends over for their birthday, and then I got sick, and I just kind of kept my head down and was working on my stipple drawing. I am, I want to say like 90% of the way finished with it. So I just finished erasing the little pencil markings, but this is where I'm at with it. I think the main thing that I really have to work on and kind of improve with this is the shading. So some areas do need to be darker just to bring out like the values. Otherwise, in some areas it looks more flat than it should. So yeah, I do have an idea of what I want to do as a companion for this. So it's going to be kind of like a 2-piece set that would go together, and that's gonna come up. I'm not gonna show it yet, but that's gonna come up. But I like just erased all the pencil markings like I just said, and I have this little desk vacuum. I don't know if you guys ever seen this, but it's literally just a vacuum for your desk. And I have all of these little shavings over here, or the pen eraser things, and we're gonna vacuum this, and it's kind of satisfying. So I wanted to show you guys how satisfying it is. No, this is not a sponsored product or anything, but I've had this for like maybe 3 years now, and I freaking love it. So Literally the coolest little thing ever for my desk. It only cost me like a few dollars, so saves a lot of time. Okay, so putting this away now. And I don't know if you guys saw my little paper of time stamps, but this is pretty much me keeping the time of how long it took me to work on this stipple drawing. And so far it's taken me 35 hours. And honestly, like, I'm pretty impressed because I guess like in a way, I first initially thought it might take me like 25 to 30, but 35 hours. And it's crazy because with this one, I've done bigger stipple drawings before, and the drawing that I did before took me 28 hours. Actually, let me find that and show you guys, because my stippling has improved so much. And it's not like I've done big stipple drawings before. I more so just do little ones here and there, but I think the past like few months I've really been interested in stippling again, and that's kind of like my problem area, is where I get really obsessed with something for a long time and then I find something different. So right now my current obsession is stippling, and let me get the drawing to show you guys. Okay, I got my trusty dandy, oh my gosh, portfolio bag, and honestly I hate this thing. Like, it's cool, but it's just like not my vibe, but I keep it because I bought it while I was in school. And I didn't, by the way, so I got my bachelor's degree in art, media, and design, and then my master's in a business degree. And my bachelor's degree, I feel like I did not get the art, media, and design aspects of my bachelor's degree when I was going to school, because so the last year of my university days, it was COVID, and I actually graduated December 2020, and that whole year was like not in person, it was online. I feel like I kind of got robbed of the experience of doing the work and being around people in the environment that you should be in, especially in a creative field. And so like I didn't go to a fine art school or anything, it was just a normal university, but I did have like a photography class, and I did take like an art class, but a lot of it is also not related to the aspects that I learned nowadays. And so I do say that I'm a self-taught artist just because like I went through Patreon and I watched a lot of tutorials on the mediums that I'm using and kind of taught myself in that way. So let me get the stipple image that I created a couple of years back. I think this is back in like 2019, 2018. I don't really know. I think maybe I just saw that image online and I was like, yeah, this is the type of stipple drawing that I want to at least try. And so just so you guys can see what took me 28 hours compared to the 35 hours and how much of an improvement I have I've done. Dang, I wish, oh yeah, May 5th, 2019 is when I finished this one, but this is the 28-hour stipple drawing that I created, and compare it to this one that I just finished. It is like, the improvement is just, honestly, I'm like super proud of it, so I'm not gonna lie. But let's go through this folder because it does bring back memories, and it's so fun to see your old art. Sorry for all the movement. It's so fun to see all the old art that you created and just kind of reminisce on it. And I guess like I know like not everybody knows my story, but a lot of the art that I created back when I was younger is not with me. I do have photos of it, so I'll put a little bit of photos on this screen. But just long story short, I was raised in a Middle Eastern household that was very strict, and I grew up in a Western society compared to the rest of my family who grew up in a Middle Eastern type of environment. So I was pretty much the black sheep in the family. I was the rebellion. I was the one who walked away. And so technically ran away when I was 18. So a lot of the items that, you know, I had when I was younger, I don't have them anymore. And it's kind of like when I go back and forth in my head about it, I'm like, you know what? We come into this world with nothing and we leave with nothing, not to be pessimistic in this video, but that's the reality of it. And I do have photos. I do have some memories of my childhood. It's very scarce just because, if anybody knows, photos and phones and cameras were not the same as they were over 20 years ago. So that's that. That all in to say is I don't have the physical items of the drawings that I created when I was younger, but I do have the ones that I created when I was older in a sense. I'm still young, you guys. The job that I used to have, I actually asked one of the guys, I was like, what year does somebody have to be considered old? Like to be born to be considered old? That man was like, you have to be born in like 2000 to be considered old. I'm like, 2000? Oh my gosh. It's like, I was born in the 90s. So I'm old to you. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm getting so sidetracked. Okay, so this one, I made it in 2018, and I was actually in like a 2D design class, which I freaking loved. Okay, my instructor was one of those instructors that were really cool, laid back, and he was like the type of person that would go to Burning Man. Like, if you know, you know. So he was really awesome. It was also the class that when I was working on what is it called, like a linoleum block or something, to create a stamp with the rubber, you have to like use these tools and carve it. And like I kid you not, like 5-10 minutes before we even started the whole thing, the instructor was like, be careful because, you know, you can cut yourself with these tools. And I sliced, like, it's so much better now, but I sliced my let me see if I sliced my finger. I don't know if you guys can see that scarring. And I almost passed out, and they were trying to call my husband, and he wasn't picking up the phone until like minutes later, and I had to go to the ER, get stitches. So that was a whole thing in itself. But in that class, we created some pretty cool things, and a lot of these, I mean, these are all like original ideas except for one of them. But this one is on Bristol board. We used coffee to stain the paper. And then I used, what are those things in math? The compass? I used the compass to make like the circle, and then ruler for the straight edges, and then more of like the compass. You can see there's some stipple technique in there, some line work. I love like having something be even with each other. So I was also pretty set on making like equal geometric type of drawings. And so this was, you can tell, very kind of equal, or at least I tried for it to be. But yeah, September 2018 is when I finished it. And yes, my last name is different, obviously, because I wasn't married at that time, but me and the hubby have been together for 10 years this year. That's crazy. Okay, my next one, which is kind of exciting, is, so when I was going to school and I was in college at this time, I was actually going through a surrogate process. And if you know what a surrogate, or if you don't know what a surrogate is, it's pretty much you having a baby for another family. The baby's not related to you, unless I think you can like I don't know if you can have the option to donate one of your eggs as a woman. But anyways, so I was going through IVF, and I was going through the point where I had gone, I think 5 or 6 weeks into the IVF shots, where you pretty much are getting your body ready to have the baby when they put the embryo in you. And so I finished this project at the hotel room for the day that I like had the embryo of the baby like put in my body. TMI, but yeah, so this is kind of like a special piece because it just reminds me of that time. And Little boy is good. He's 7 years old this year, and he is in Beijing, China. So I get to connect with them and contact them and like get videos and pictures, so it's really awesome to see. But this is the one we were having to do, kind of like a tile work. So you would create like one square, and then you would just put it one over the other. And I liked the idea of an ice cream with the line work and the stipple, and then also just kind of like the contrasting in the black. And this is also stained with coffee before I even started on the pencil and the ink work. But these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 tiles in total, and it's pretty cool. I really like this one. Brings back good memories. So yeah, this was completed on September 25, 2018. All right, my next one. We had a project where you would create a stencil and you use like spray paint to put it on this Bristol board. We used a lot of Bristol board in school, but I really liked the Pale Man, I think is what his name is like when you have like the little eyes and he's like this white little ghost thing. But I created a stencil of it, and I also created a stencil of the letters. And so this is one of the spray paints that I did during that time. Actually, I think I still do have the stencil of it somewhere in the portfolio bag that I have. So there was this one, and then there is, okay, this one, there's a mask that we called it the Migos mask at my in-laws house. When we visited Maryland, they had this Halloween mask, and I took a picture of it, and I really wanted to create a stencil for it, especially during the time this was like Halloween. And so I created the stencil and named obviously this little mask Migos. And so this is the other stencil that I created for that class. And it's, you know, just spray paint, black, white, and red. But I really like the way that, I don't know, just like these little details on the bleeding or the ink going down. I'm pretty sure I actually had that on the stencil as well. So that's that. Now let's get to the one where I sliced my finger off. It was supposed to be done on a linoleum block, but then after that whole situation happened, he ended up just letting me put it as like ink on paper drawing. And so I found this really cool design online, and I ended up just putting it down on this paper. I put an eyeball in the center, the circles again, the lines again, just because I was really into like the whole even geometry type of look to my art. And so this is the artwork that I sliced my finger for. But honestly, I love it as the black and white pen, all done handmade. It would have been cool to see it as a print, honestly, just because when you do prints, like all your prints are not going to look the same. So yeah, I wish I could have just not hurt my finger. So next one, with this being like a 2 design course, I had, what are they called? I guess like stencils, right? Stencils that stores will have in store, and then you can just like paint over it. So I had a whole bunch, and I really wanted to do something that was inspired more like a computer chipboard for this project. We were only supposed to use 2 colors, but different shades of it. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of the circles, the line works, the trying to make things clean, but it was done with acrylic. So this is acrylic paint, and it's just a bunch of lines and circles, and yeah, pretty cool. Okay, after that, I think one of my courses, the teacher had us doing this drawing where we look at an image and we are just looking at the image that we're looking at and then drawing it on the paper that we're drawing it on. And you're not supposed to look at the paper that you're drawing it on. Like, you're supposed to keep your eyes on the image. And so it's more so like a mind, hand, mental kind of exercise. I think I have it. Oh, hold on. the stencil for the Migos. I made so many of them in here, but there's also artwork that I never completed, this being one of them. I never completed this one. It'd be cool to like go back to it and complete it, but it's not speaking to me right now. I also really like the red version of this. So this is the stencil that I cut out. And then the Migos stencil that I cut out. Pretty cool. All right, you're supposed to do the outline with you like not looking at the drawing. So this is done in watercolor. And as you guys know, watercolor is not my biggest thing, but this was a cupcake with a mermaid tail that I saw online, and I just created it for this class. I don't really have like an attachment to this, to be completely honest with you, but if anybody's interested in it, please let me know. I would love to get rid of it. So you're gonna find this hilarious, but I used to hate pastels, okay? One of the teachers, she had us go out and do some landscaping, and honestly, okay, this is the thing about being a teacher. I feel like when you have allow somebody to try to figure out what they like in your class, right? Why do you try to force something onto someone who is telling you it's not like, they're not feeling the project? Like, why are you gonna force them to do what they're doing? And I get it, like, you know, you wanna try to at least have somebody experience it, but like not to this grand scale where somebody is like really dreading just even submitting this artwork. So I also do not like this artwork. And this was done with pastel. And like, what is this? I'm sorry, what is this? This is, I would give myself like a D. I'm not failing it because at least I like, you know, effort, but yeah, no, this is not the thing for me. And I just wish that teachers had a better sense of like understanding their students, you know? Oh, the line work one. I took on more than I can chew. And this is the other one that I was going to start off with before the muffin, but I just would not have had enough time to finish it. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it was supposed to be a salmon board. And it was just too much. The image was just too much, so I had to switch it to something more simple, which was the reason why I made the cupcake. I also used to do some scrapbooking even when I was younger. I know I have it somewhere in storage, but even when I was younger, I used to love scrapbooking. So these are some of the scrapbooking like projects that I did. And there wasn't really a theme to any of this. It was just putting some things together. So that's that. I also forgot that I have some things in here. So in between that time, I did like a lot of, I guess, painting, acrylic painting, stippling, just here and there. Like, I was never actually serious about my art until literally like 2023. And you guys, 2023, because like I will get like a spark here and there to create something, and then I create it and then I don't do anything for like months. So I'll show you a little bit what I have in this book. And this is my husband got me this in 2018, and I really want to fill it up, but the more I'm understanding paper, the more I'm like, this paper kind of sucks. But I did a lot of, when I was like practicing with the stippling, I found a lot of images on Pinterest that I wanted to create. I'm just gonna, I guess, stand behind this camera and show you, because this is gonna be the easiest way to do this. But so I was really just doing these randomly. As you can see, like 2018 I did one, 2018. So yeah, I would do one every now and then. I think I like had my kind of obsession phases, and then I would start one and I would not finish it. Same with this one, did not finish it. Did not finish. This one, I did it when we were visiting my husband's family in Maryland. And then I was like, oh, let me just try to do a whole bunch of like random things. add some other things in here. And then this is one of the ones that I really loved. It's similar to the image that's on Pinterest, but I kind of did my own style and twist to it. Some random ones. One I never finished. I probably should go back and finish some of these. Oh, this one. I did this one during COVID, December 2020. See, there's a whole like in between, like almost 6 months in between. So I did this in December and then I did this in July 2021. So it's like, there's so much time in between some of these. This one I never finished. This one was in 2022. As you can tell, I love the reptiles. This one, I actually had COVID, so I did this when I was in bed. This one, I was visiting my sister and I just wanted to create something when I was there. This one, I do have prints of some of these stipple drawings. They're on my Etsy shop. This one, I did it in the plane when I was flying back home. But I do have some on my Etsy shop, so if you are interested in some of these, please make sure to check out my Etsy shop and my website. This one, I actually did it on the train ride from Seattle, or no, yeah, I think from Washington to Vancouver, Canada. This one I never finished, and some of these. This one I did in September 2025. And I think that is all. Hope that wasn't too long and you enjoyed that little walkthrough of my book. But to get into more of my art that I created, you know, years ago, like I said, I would get these little bursts of wanting to create things, and so I created this one. Is a stipple artwork that I created in December 2021. I found, obviously, the reference image was off of Pinterest, but honestly, if I could go back and do this again, I would, just because I'm like, come on, the face is too skinny. Like, these are cool, but like, this is interesting, you know what I mean? But it's still like, I can't knock myself down too much, especially since like, I didn't really have that much stippling practice beforehand. My anime and my pastel work and all that stuff, I'm like from 2023 to I think like 2020, even currently 2026. I'm not gonna add it in this video because it's gonna be so much to go through. So I told you in 2023 is when I started taking my artwork pretty, I guess, seriously, and I really wanted to learn, and I was doing some Patreon tutorials and kind of like seeing the techniques that artists were using, the materials that they were using, like on everything that you see in this room, I've probably gathered over the past 3 years, just because it's been kind of like a journey to discover what mediums I really truly like. And so I did this tutorial by Ali Hader, or Header, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but this is one of the tutorials that I did, and it's supposed to be Oppenheimer, but I was pretty happy with this because I'm like, you know, done with pencil and charcoal, and sorry, the little glare is kind of hard for you to see it, but this is one of the tutorials that I did with him. And then I did another tutorial, so this is the other one that I did. And honestly, like, I think it's cool. I really like just seeing how to create the skin texture and like even just like the water drippings. It was really cool to see and be able to do that with artwork and learn in that way. But I don't know, for now, I don't think I'm like big on that stuff yet. Or again, I guess you can say. I should also mention that I was doing some cyanotypes back in the day in 2020 when we had more time in COVID. But this is a cyanotype, and if you don't know what a cyanotype is, it's pretty much this like a liquid. It's yellow when you first put it on the paper, but then when you put it out in the sun, it kind of like prints or cures it, and so then you get the print of whatever you're doing. So a lot of people do like seaweed, they do flowers, they do like all these natural materials that they create cyanotypes from. But what I did is I created a digital negative of an image that I took of my husband, and I did a double exposure, meaning that at one point when the sun was curing the cyanotype with the digital image and on top of it, I shifted the digital image and then created a second type of, like a second, I guess, print, but all within the same like time frame, because it cures pretty fast. I mean, it's, yeah. But this is one of my favorite ones that I did. And honestly, a lot of these that are in here, like you can just go through my social media and see kind of the process and all of these other pastel ones that I created and how they turned out. So I'll just go through this quickly. Oh, this is the most recent one that I did in 2026. First one I did in 2026. Oh, okay. And then this one, I was trying to, before I even really started working with pastels or anything, I was working with colored pencils and markers. And I guess I can show you with this. So this is, I guess, this is the first one that I created with colored pencils and tried to work with an X-Acto knife to take away color. And so I was working and doing dogs in the beginning, and I created an image of my sister's dog, which I already sent to her. And honestly, I would want to redo it because I feel like I've grown in my art and now I actually know how to work with materials better. But then I did another one of the family dog. Like I said, I would want to redo this in pastels because this was not it. But I like having them because you can look back and see how far you've grown in your art. And then I did this one with colored pencils on toned Strathmore paper. And the image that I referenced was off of Pixabay. I found this woman and it was speaking to me, so I did it with colored pencils. This is a line that I did back in 2018. I'm like, if I created this again, it would be so much different now. So the growth is there, you guys. Okay, this one was from one of my art books and I thought it was pretty cool, so I did one. So I did it on here, and then I was working with some oil paintings back in the day and I was just messing around with it. This is one of them, and then this is another one of them. So wow, that was a lot. And I am so sorry for this long video, but I figured, hey, why not go through like the old artwork, because I know, like, I feel like people find you when you've grown in your art and you've became so much better, and they think that you're always been like that, but in reality, like, no, you've obviously had to practice a lot, you've had to create a lot of art, and you've had to, you know, build your skills and your techniques and yourself to get to the point that you are now. And this initially wasn't the idea for this video when I started it like a week ago. And when I was sitting down and I was thinking, I was like, wow, you know, I might as well just share the old art but have you guys see like more of the reality of when you're an artist. Like, you really have these times where some of your art is not that good, and then other art, you know, you improve at. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it wasn't too long of a video. I personally love enjoying people's longer videos while I'm creating art in the background. So I hope this was kind of the video for you to do that. If you were creating art or doing something in the background, please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video, and just have anything to say, like, please let me know. I love hearing you guys' thoughts, and I really want to try to be consistent with these videos to be posted every 2 weeks, so that's definitely what we're doing. The next video is going to be a review on some Blick Value art material brushes that they had sent me. So pretty much they sent me the brushes and they want me to review it on their site, and it's not paid for or anything. I just got the free brushes, and you know me, like, we are gonna be honest. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much for being here, and let me know if you guys want to see anything else. As always, love yourself, love your family, love your life. Bye guys.